got 400 tanks in every room of my house. There's not a prayer in the world of me finding a spouse. I'm spilling water on the floor and all over the wall. No matter if it's carpet, I'm ruining it all. I'm a fish nerd, a fish nerd, a fish nerd, a fish nerd. Scientific names just rolling out my mouth. I love cichlids from the north and pleccals from the south. There's a whole lot of folks up in the fish fam. There's Corey and Bob and Jadren. I'm a fish nerd, a fish nerd, fish nerd, a fish nerd. Petco and Walmart stop killing my fish. I'm tired of rescuing betas that are dying in a dish. Every employee, they just seem to be lost, selling Oscars with guppies, but at what cost? I'm a fish nerd, a fish nerd, fish nerd, a fish nerd. It's Saturday again, heading to the fish store. I'm addicted to fish, I need more and more. I keep buying more fish, and I don't have the room. I'll put them in the bathtub, let the buy-in resume. I'm a fish nerd, a fish nerd, fish nerd, a fish nerd. Doing water changes all day and night. I can't get the pH where it seems just right. I do 10, 20, or 30%. So many fish, they need to pay me rent. Fish nerd, a fish nerd, fish nerd, a fish nerd. Sucking up the water crap going up my nose. I can't seem to stop making fish room videos. YouTube, I love you, but you ain't paying squat. Gotta keep a real job, don't like it a lot. I'm a fish nerd, a fish nerd, fish nerd, a fish nerd, fish nerd, a fish nerd, fish nerd, a fish nerd. I got 400 tanks in every room of my house. There's not a prayer in the world of me finding a spouse. I'm spilling water on the floor and all over the wall. No matter if it's carpet, I'm ruining it all. I'm a fish nerd, a fish nerd, a fish nerd, a fish nerd. Scientific names just rolling out my mouth. I love cichlids from the north and pleccals from the south. There's a whole lot of folks up in the fish fam. There's Corey and Bob and Jadren. I'm a fish nerd, a fish nerd, fish nerd, a fish nerd. Petco and Walmart stop killing my fish. I'm tired of rescuing betas that are dying in a dish. Every employee, they just seem to be lost, selling Oscars with guppies, but at what cost? I'm a fish nerd, a fish nerd, fish nerd, a fish nerd. It's Saturday again, heading to the fish store. I'm addicted to fish, I need more and more. I keep buying more fish, and I don't have the room. I'll put them in the bathtub, let the buy-in resume. I'm a fish nerd, a fish nerd, fish nerd, a fish nerd. Doing water changes all day and night. I can't get the pH where it seems just right. I do 10, 20, or 30%. So many fish, they need to pay me rent. Fish nerd, a fish nerd, fish nerd, a fish nerd. Sucking up the water crap going up my nose. I can't seem to stop making fish room videos. YouTube, I love you, but you ain't paying squat. Gotta keep a real job, don't like it a lot. I'm a fish nerd, a fish nerd, fish nerd, a fish nerd, fish nerd, a fish nerd, fish nerd, a fish nerd. Hey, what is going on, guys? This is Jason with Jadren Aquatics, and
Papa Shrimp.
how is everyone doing today? Let's switch up here so we don't want to miss our live chat. Thank you guys so much for stopping by today. You guys are absolutely awesome. I saw a bunch of comments in here about the song. I don't know, funniest countdown or something. I don't know if you guys realize, but that was actually a video I did a while back called Fish Nerd. So you can actually go back and watch that and download it and make it the song that you listen to while you do water changes.
You might laugh even more once you see the video.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it was so much fun to make, but it was so hard because I'd never did anything where you have to line up audio with video.
Right.
And it got to the point that I just wanted to release it so bad that I finally released it. So there's multiple times where it's like it's like out of focus, and I it's one of those times you just hit the post button. You just don't care anymore. You just wanted to get rid of it. So I prefer you just listen to the song and not watch the video.
He just doesn't want you to see him dance. That's the truth.
Yeah, I don't need to embarrass my wife any more than
He dances like a fish nerd.
Than already embarrassed her. The song's funny too because it got so popular with a bunch of people like outside the fish world. I had a bunch of friends that saw it and they started sharing it with their friends and stuff. And so some of the events and stuff that I would go to where I would have to get up in front of a group of people and speak, they would all of a sudden start the video back there behind me. Where, okay, if you know me, okay, funny. But if you're like, I don't even know who this guy is up here on stage, why in the world am I watching this guy dance like a idiot to some song about fish? We're not even here.
Well, I just saw a question from Joyler Aquatics. It said, who's in the giveaway? Asked if am I in the giveaway? And to be honest, everybody that's in the stream right now as a watcher, viewer, user, whatever you want to be called, yes, you will be able to participate in the giveaway.
So we'll probably do that probably midway through the stream and get as many people in here as we can.
Right.
We were trying to do it some fancy schmancy way where it automatically went through and chose it, and we never quite got that set up. So we're gonna have to probably use some type of old-fashioned way where I'll choose a number and I'd write it down, but I don't have a pen. So you're just gonna have to trust me, and then we'll go through and we'll choose whoever has the closest to the number without going over the number. And again, that is a what?
Do I get to pick a number?
Oh yeah, sure. You're not going to win, but you can pick all the numbers you want.
All right.
You just pick away.
Pick away.
Oh, and so the reason that we're giving away the gift card is because in the previous stream, which was a couple of weeks ago, we'll talk about that in a minute, we had multiple people that actually gave some money, especially Vince, Wow Aquatics. He gave us $25 towards doing a gift card. So he super chatted to do that. So that's kind of the reason that kind of threw it out there and like, oh, that's a good idea. Let's go ahead and let's double that and let's do that as a gift card. And again, that's a gift card towards our website where you can go on there and buy whatever it is that you want to buy. I'll just you can send me an email and we'll send you a number and you just push that thing into the shopping cart and you can get whatever kind of good stuff that you want to get.
Like a Jadren Aquatic t-shirt or Jadren Aquatic sticker or Jadren Aquatic magnets or...
Well, Jadren Aquatic shirts. So I've had shirts for a while and I used to have them on Patreon. So on Patreon you had different levels if you joined. So if you joined at the $15, I think it's what it was, level, then I would send you out a shirt. So I had shirts to fill that. But I never actually put shirts up for sale. And the reason is I know I've been doing this for a while now, but it's still weird to me that people would want to wear a shirt that says Jadren Aquatics on it. I don't know. It's hard to understand that. And so I've been resistant to actually putting them up for sale. And so I had a few left, but I didn't have every single size. And I put a few of them up on the website the other day, and they pretty much almost all got bought out except for the 3Xs. We didn't have it. The big peoples weren't around to buy up the 3Xs. But some of the other ones got bought. So we're actually having more of them made right now. Another thing that I was kind of concerned about is my mom is a huge scrapbooker, and so she does all sorts of stuff with shirts and stuff too. And so she uses a Cricut to make the cutouts and stuff. So I wasn't very sure how it was going to work out because I thought I don't want to sell these shirts and people get them and they wash them 2 or 3 times and then they just start peeling off.
Right.
So someone was kind enough to try them out for me. So how'd it work?
It was great. I loved them. I washed it several times because I like to wear it to work as much as possible and rub it in your face that we need to get the t-shirts on the website. But everything so far, the quality has been really great. There hasn't been any fading, no peeling, no cracking. So I'm pretty confident in them. I had a question here that I saw that was pretty interesting. Brings up a topic. It was from Fresh Aquarium. Says, I would love some input from you on something. Everyone does their central air loop horizontally on the top. Why not vertically on the back of racks? Keep it off the ceiling and out of sight.
You could easily do that. I don't think it's going to matter one way or another. Are you talking about actually making a loop, or are you talking about just making one straight up and down where you've got both end caps? I think it'd work fine either way. It doesn't really matter how the air is configured. Right. It's just you're trying to create the easiest way for you to have access to the air. And so to me, I've always found it easier because to have it all up. You can run it down, and you can run it to gang valves if you want to. If you don't want to, try to drop them down to every one. But through doing the calculations, because I did a video one time where I broke down like all the cost that's really involved in running a fish room. And so that was kind of one of the things that I figured. Is it cheaper to buy hose that goes 6 feet to the bottom tank, or is it cheaper to buy a gang valve that has, let's say, 6 outlets on it, and then you just have one that comes to the gang valve and goes to the other tanks? And it was a whole lot cheaper because you can buy a 200-foot roll of that stuff for like $20 or something.
Right.
And the gang valves are like $7 just for like a 3-outlet one. So it just kind of depends. But yeah, you can run your air any way you want to. It's not
interesting
critical.
enough. When I did mine, I kind of ran into the problem that I didn't want it so high because I didn't want to have to get up and be messing with it way up there at top. So I did it kind of at the highest tank that I had. I did it just above that level. And then in the other parts of the room, I went up and I actually plumbed it to go around the doors and everything like that. And thank goodness that I did, because after my surgery, and I couldn't lift my arms very high, but I needed to do some adjustments, it was right there within eyesight to be able to do the adjustments. So I think it's more on your own personal favorite way, or what you think you're going to need access to, or you got to remember that you're going to be getting back there, maybe adding a valve, maybe adding hoses, having to do some maintenance. So you want to give it as much as you can as far as accessibility and ease of accessibility, I think. But it's really personal preference.
Yeah, just the only thing, whenever you have wherever your pump is and you connect your pump to it, you kind of want to have that at the same level as where the loop is. That way you don't want to have it low in the air having to travel up, because you're going to get less air, because it's got to have the ability to provide enough pressure to get to it. So that should work the way you're doing it. I don't see any problem with that whatsoever. Not that I've actually done it that way, but sure, it should work.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I even have some that go down to a gang valve and go across the tanks, just because I didn't have enough holes drilled in my pipe. And I took the easy way out. Again, I was kind of handicapped, so just put a gang valve and then split it across the tanks.
I saw a few comments on some people had gotten the prints. So that's based on the membership. Last week, I think I've sent out every single one of the prints. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, if you actually click on the join button on my YouTube page, every other month I send out 2 of these. Your choice of what you want. You'll see there's a bunch of them here. And so I finally got all those out and sent out to everyone. So I saw a bunch of people that posted that they got theirs in and they're working on getting them framed. So if you guys are interested in that, you can click on that join button and find out a little bit more information on that.
I'm not leaving you hanging on purpose. I'm trying to see. Jess has given us a little bit of information. Hi, Jess, from the Aquatic Morning Show. She texted me and said that there's a little bit of a delay and that we might want to try to figure out something about the audio because she's having a hard time hearing us a little bit. But other than that, thank you for that, Jess. And any of y'all have the chance in the mornings, except for Wednesday morning, it's the Aquatic Morning Show on Main's Tails, Fins and Furs, or I might have Furs and Fins backwards. We sponsor their channel, so go check her out, enjoy the show, become a member, and let her know that we sent you. You saw it here first on Jadren Aquatics live stream.
Yeah, look, we got some that's saying they're having troubles hearing, and there's some that says just fine. So I don't know. I've got the mic pegged out as loud as it can go. We've got two mics. Oh, and speaking of that, you guys noticed that I have a pink mic. So I think pink's cool, but apparently Papa Shrimp is not a big fan of the pink. So
I'm colorblind.
Yeah. Oh.
I thought it was orange.
So I needed two of them. So this is one of them. And so they didn't have another one in black. And I thought, oh, good, it's an excuse for me to buy a pink one. And he can't complain because I had no choice. But we've realized that having two mics this close together causes some type of feedback because they hear off each other. So I don't know what I'm talking about. I just know we were having problems with it. So that's why we have we have it with just one. But it would probably be better if we had one in front of each one of us. Now, we could do what a lot of people do where they stream together, but they stream in like separate rooms. But I don't know, there's some kind of dysfunction the way. They don't seem like they're together. I feel like when we're right here, you know, I can slap him if I need to. Then, you know, he's in close proximity, so I can do whatever needs to be done. So that's why we kind of do it like this. So we're still figuring this out. So for the first time, we actually have the right camera going. Before we had problems with the camera last time. It went off. And we had to switch, like 1 minute before the stream started, we had to switch back to not the onboard camera, but one of the HD, whatchamacallit mics, not mics, but webcams we had that, you know, that only catches, we have to like sit on, you know, we're not COVID friendly. Or COVID, we're not in COVID restrictions. So at least this one, we get a nice big wide shot, and we can move a little bit away from each other and not have to be right beside each other.
And trust me, I considered trying to do a stream from me at home and him at home here and seeing if we could do that with the dual screens and all that fun stuff. But there's something about the dynamics that we have when we're here together, I think is a little bit better than worrying about lag or anything, or just not being here in the same room with each other. We kind of might lose some of that, the dynamics that we hope that we're creating with these streams. So far, everybody seems to have been enjoying it. So
apparently we have some kind of lag because we're getting, the sound is good, but the timing is off. And I know there's some way to fix that, but I don't have a clue what the heck that is to actually fix that problem. It may be because we're using the new camera that's causing that. I'm not 100% sure. It looks like our signal strength's a little bit low, so
yeah, we are hooked up through the Ethernet cord, Brian.
Yeah, we're not. It's not wireless.
I appreciate all the input, especially those of you texting me on my phone.
Yeah, for sure. Someone asked whether or not we were the fish store is open. Yeah, the store is open. Our problem right now is we're trying to come up with what our hours are going to be. Because again, if you guys don't know, the fish store is actually located inside my printing company. And so I'm typically there from 9 to 5 days a week, not open on the weekends. And so that's kind of originally the hours that we did for it. And you know, I got some complaints from people. They're like, well, how's the working man supposed to get by? And I'm like, I apologize, but I'm just trying to figure this out. I'm not 100% sure, you know, what the heck that we're doing. So we're waiting kind of to decide what those final hours are going to be, because what it basically falls on Papa Shrimp here, because
I don't want to work the weekends, and I don't want to work after 5. So he's going to decide what those hours are. So right now, if you're interested in coming, the official hours right now is a 1 to 4 Monday through Friday. But if you give us a call or you email us and let us know you're coming, we're usually there earlier and usually there later. So if we know you're coming, we don't mind staying there at all. But again, those hours are going to change eventually into something a little bit better.
Yeah, a lot of it is just, I hope everybody realizes you got to add about 3 to 3.5 hours a day just for me to commute to work and home. So that's why some of the times I don't really want to be open until 6 and get home at 7:30 or 8 o'clock. But then again, I have to make sure that we're open enough for our retail customers. So one of the things I've been thinking about is maybe doing definitely a second Saturday sale every second Saturday of the month, that I'll be open for this time to this time for all of our retail customers. And then trying to figure out, I don't want to mess with shipping too much, because I've tried to do that and it's very overwhelming to try to make sure I'm packing the fish correctly so that we can get them shipped out on time, and then also have customers walking in while I'm in the middle of, no, you can't buy that, we're fixing to ship it, you can't have any of those because we're fixing to ship and so that gets a little bit overwhelming, but we're trying to figure it out. So hopefully your continued support will help us get all of the feedback and all the information so that we can make some good decisions on how we want to go about it, and really for me to make some good decisions on how I want to operate that part of it and be open after hours or on the weekends.
And one of the ways that we're doing it right now is we ship on Mondays and Tuesdays. Probably 95% of the orders go out on Monday, and then other stuff that rolls in will ship out on Tuesday. And occasionally we ship on Wednesday, but we usually only ship on Wednesday if it's something close, like some bordering state. We're in Texas, so if it's a bordering state that we know is only about a 1 or 2 day ship, because we're trying to avoid the fish being sitting at the post office over the weekend. And as far as that goes, I know I hear a lot of people complain about the post office, but we've had really, really good luck as far as the post office goes, as far as shipping fish and them getting there on time. Out of, I don't know, 500, 600, 700 packages that we've sent since the beginning of a year, I only know of one that was like totally lost, and only a couple that had full losses.
Right.
The thing that we more often get than that is just the single one that dies. The majority of the fish that we ship we bag them just one per bag. That way, if they die, they don't kill the other fish along with it. Most people ship a bunch of fish, and we learned a hard lesson from that.
Yes, we did.
Because we had the sale a few weeks ago for Labor Day, and we offered 20% off the whole website. And we had some cheaper fish, like some Danios and stuff, that 20% off of $3 or whatever didn't really bring them down that much, but apparently it excited quite a few people out there.
Right.
And they would buy 10 or 12 of those fish, and we would bag them up, and when we couldn't individually bag them, it would just be too much. But even you couldn't put more than 2 to a bag because the way they were bagging them. And so what happened was it created more boxes than normal and created too much weight. So we realized that we were just like losing money off of trying to do it that way. And again, as I keep saying, we don't know what we're doing. We're literally just figuring this out every week as we go along, trying to understand, what's the right way to do this, what's the right way to manage all this stuff. Because man, we just don't completely know.
I trust me, I ask him all the time, okay, so what are we going to focus on? Are we going to focus on retail or online, or are we going to focus on our tank setups, the aquascaping? Are we going to focus on guppies or shrimp or cichlid? And it becomes we want to do it all, but we can't. So we're trying to focus our direction and what we're trying to drive the business towards and get it more focused, so that way we're not doing a million things half-ass, but we're doing 10 or 20 things spot on. And it's hard to do that when you get caught up, because it may be we ordered fish, but they didn't get here on time. So now we have to delay our quarantine process, which delays putting them on the website. And then we have less options available to you. And whether it's fish, plant, shrimp, any of that stuff. And then some of it we get from local breeders. And so we got to make sure that they're working with us and have the availability too. So there's so many things that I think both of us are learning that, yeah, we can't drink from a fire hose. So let's get back to a straw. And we'll start with a straw, and then eventually we'll learn how to drink from a fire hose.
Well, we talk about quarantining, and so like we've said before, the stuff that we bring in the import, we're quarantining it for 2 weeks, and we've had problems. We've tried it in my fish room, then we tried it in his fish room, and he has well water, so he's had a lot better luck. But one of the things that we realize is that the majority of the places that you buy from, they're working on these massive, 2, 3, 4,000 gallon systems that are all intertwined together. And when we have this kind of mentality as fish keepers, as far as having fish rooms, is that, oh my gosh, you can't have 2 tanks at all running together, because if a sickness happens in one of those tanks, it's going to spread to the next tank. So if you got all your tanks tied together, you're going to have sickness throughout it. And I've never really thought it out, but I started thinking, okay, well, these importers are bringing all this stuff in, and they're taking all these import fish, putting thousands of them all in basically the same water. Now, granted, most of them are running UV sterilizers, which is catching some of the bad stuff that's in there, but they're having better luck at it. So we thought, man, maybe we need to try that out. So I placed this big order with Seagrass. And my friend Patrick, who you've seen me film in his place before, he's the guy that has the fish room that has all the pothos plants. It looks like a jungle because it's running everywhere. It's in all the tanks. There's roots going all over the place. And during the winter, he was gone when we had that horrible freeze here, and he lost almost all of his fish. He had upwards of about 2,000 gallons total. He had a bunch of different size tanks, so he might have 100 tanks or so, but he had a lot of fish, and he lost almost all of his fish. So I asked him, I said, hey, would you be interested in quarantining our fish for us? And I gave him something in exchange for it. And keep them for 2 weeks for us, and let's see how it works on your system, because he has 2 1,000 gallon separated systems that work on a aquaponic system where it runs through tons of plants. So he has lots and lots of plants that are sucking up, whatever plants suck up. And so I thought, let's do that. Let's put them in his. And he says, yeah, sure enough, I'll do that. Well, I felt terrible because he comes to my house to pick them up, and we've got 4 boxes. and he's driving a Toyota Prius. And so I'm thinking, are these going to fit in there? And he's got 2 dogs with him, by the way. And so I take the 2 boxes and put them in there, and then he shuts the trunk. And I'm like, there's still 2 other boxes out here. Why is he shutting his trunk? So I just pick them up and start carrying them, and he kind of looks at me and opens the trunk again. And I'm starting to realize maybe I didn't communicate with him correctly. So he ends up taking all of the fish with him. And he writes me later, and we talk about it. And he thought I just wanted him to quarantine the neons and the rummy nose tetras, because that was 2 of the ones that we have a lot of problems with. Well, no, I wanted him to quarantine every single thing that I had. So I told him in 2 weeks I'll be at your house and I'll catch them all. You don't have to catch them. So I felt bad to do that, but I was very thankful that at least he's doing that now, so we can get a little bit of better idea. Is maybe that's the process that we need to do, is look into setting up some type of sump system to quarantine fish in. Because again, man,
Well, a lot of this too, it gives me a better idea. If it seems like something like he's got is more successful, then when I go to build my fish room and farm, then I'll probably look at a type of system that way.
Yeah.
It's just, I just love this hobby and this industry, because you do have the opportunity to learn something new every day. And I'm learning. Again, it's like drinking out of a fire hose, but I am constantly learning something new, whether it's about the certain types of plants, whether it's about certain fish. Don't put this fish and that fish together, or you end up with a bunch of nipped tails. We learned that the hard way. And sometimes you think, oh, these fish will be fine together, but then the tails get all ate up. For example, we put some Galaxy red albino guppies in with some peacock gudgeons. Yeah. We didn't think it was going to be a problem, but the tails on all of the guppies were nipped up pretty good. So that was a lesson learned, and an expensive one too, because now we have fish that we really don't want to sell with a bunch of nipped tails. So we have to try to find ways to absorb it and create our processes, because our number one thing is we want to deliver healthy fish. You know, I'd love to say we want to deliver healthy fish as soon as possible, but in reality, I got to decide one or the other. What's more important? Deliver it this week, unhealthy or tattered tails, or do I want to wait till next week and get you a really nice, good-looking, healthy fish?
Yeah, because there's one of the things that we understand is that being a business and being a YouTube channel, there's nowhere to hide.
Nope.
So if I was to screw one of you on purpose or by accident, I'm going to hear about it, and everyone else is going to hear about it because people are going to comment, or they're going to come on a live stream and they're going to let me have it. And so that's kind of always playing in my mind. Now, so I come from a background of customer service, running a print shop. And so that's what I'm used to. I'm used to quick turnaround, and I'm, taking care of the customer, because I know if I take care of a customer, they're quick to tell other people about me. And so I kind of bring that same mentality in here, and it doesn't work the same, because we're dealing with live animals, and live animals are going to die, and you're going to have to deal with them dying. And so I'm still learning how to get thick skin, because not that people are writing me emails yelling at me. In fact, people are incredibly understanding when they write. And for those of you guys who have had problems or had something that was DOA when it came in, I thank you guys for being easy on me, because I want to take care of you, you know, whether it's reshipping the fish or giving you some type of refund. You know, I'm going to try to do everything I can to take care of you, because again, I know that it's not going to take one person to start going crazy and posting stuff all over social media about how terrible we are, or going on Google Maps and rating us bad or something on there. So we know that we have this thing to answer to all the time. Not that that's the reason that we do it, but it's still always that lingering thing that it's important to us to try to get healthy fish to you, for sure.
Yeah, and one of the things, I come from the aspect of being a customer. In anything that I've ever done, whether it's work at a bar, whether it's a restaurant, or even in this industry, I look at it from the customer's point of view. And that's the way I like to approach business, is that if I was the customer, what do I want to see or not see? And those are the things that help me decide how I'm going to approach it, how I'm going to market it. And honestly, I'm not real big on just selling stuff to make a buck, especially if it's stuff that I'm not familiar with, I don't understand. I have a hard time with that. I'm not a great salesperson, but I could get you to understand why I believe in something that I'm selling really easily, if that makes any sense. If I believe in it, I use it, I understand it, it makes it easy to pass that information along and give that as an option, versus I can make more profit off of product A than I can off of product B. So here, use this. It's guaranteed to give you healthy fish. I'm just not that person, because I'm not a salesman.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not either. So, as far as the previous streams go, you know, we were all hyped up. We're going to get a stream in every single Wednesday. And what was the first reason? I forgot what the first Wednesday I had to...
Because we were overwhelmed with shipping.
Oh, yes.
Tuesday and Wednesday because of the holiday.
Yeah, we got absolutely killed with Labor Day orders, so we didn't get a lot of sleep. We were coming in super early. Some of us were getting pulled over by police. And so we were just absolutely exhausted. And then I'm sure a lot of you guys already saw, and then last Wednesday, my baby, my dog that my wife and I have had for about 14 years, who was incredibly healthy. Like I praised my wife because she always bought this high-end food. I mean, some of it was expensive. There was one type of food that she was buying. It was like some raw feet food from like a farmer or something that had to ship it in. It was expensive. But the dog was so healthy at 14 years old. She would go in the backyard and run. And I'm like, man, it's got to be because of the food, you know? It's not feeding it Old Roy from Walmart, you know? So I was always like, okay, if you know, it's making the dog this healthy. And then we were home for lunch. My two sons worked for me also on the print shop side. And we were home for lunch. We come home most of the time. And we had eaten, and I'd played with Lucky was the dog's name. I played with Lucky and fed her some food. And then we left, and we got like 5 minutes down the road, and my wife calls just hysterical saying that Lucky is in the backyard, and she's dead. And, you know, I'm like freaking out. So we come home, and sure enough, she had a heart attack. And one of the things my wife and I had talked about is we've had dogs forever. I've had a dog since I was in like 5th grade, just very close babies. And we've had to put the last 4 or 5 of them down. And that's horrible, having to sit there in the office and hold them while you know they're about to be put down. But there was so much stuff wrong with them. And so that was kind of one of our prayers with this one is, you know, I hope that this one at least goes in her sleep. So it was tragic that it happened, but it was so quick. There was no pain or anything. So that's the only thing that made it a little bit easier. So that's why we had to cancel, because that literally happened Wednesday at like 1:15. And so you didn't want me on a live stream. I would have brought everybody completely down.
Trust me, I had to get the phone call.
Yeah.
As soon as it happened. I was in shock because I really couldn't understand what he had said, so I wasn't sure if he had said dog or dad.
Oh.
And so he hung up, and I was just like, oh no. Hey, Todd. It kind of freaked me out a little bit, but I really felt bad because we had promised to give away. It'd been 2 weeks in a row that we had talked about it and that we were about to bail. So I went ahead and thank you for all of you that showed up in my stream last week on my channel. I kind of just borrowed the image that I had made for our stream and decided, you know, what the hey, Jess is going to help me out again from Aquatic Morning Show. Thank you, Jess. And I had a blast. And I think most of you that were in there did too. So thank you for showing us a little bit of support. I just didn't want to waste the 7 o'clock slot on a Wednesday and not be consistent about streaming.
Okay, so we're at 7:30. So I know people keep asking. So I suggest right now that we go ahead and let's give away the $50 gift card. So let's do it this way. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way. We're going to have you choose a number between 1 and 200. And you want to be the closest without going over. And if we have a tie, we'll redo it between those two people. So again, I want you to type in the comments a number between 1 and 200. And then I'm going to come up with a number in my head. And you don't want to go over it. If you go over it, you're out. So the closest to it. So start typing in numbers. And in just a few minutes, once we see no more numbers coming through, please only enter one number. I don't want to see multiple numbers coming through from the same person.
All right. We already got it going. Jason Holmes was the first to enter a number. And we'll keep on going until we say stop. I'll give you guys a couple of minutes.
Someone made a comment about whether or not dogs could have heart attacks. It was actually, we were at the vet not too long ago for her for some allergy problems. And the vet told us to specifically not have your dog on the, there's like a new type of food that's out. It's a no grain food or 0 grain type food. And they're realizing that multiple dogs are having heart attacks because of being on that food. And so, yeah, dog heart attacks are
it's a thing.
It's a thing, yeah.
Well, people heart attacks are too. I got a scar to prove it.
Yeah. I think the problem is most people never realize a dog has a heart attack because you're not going to spend the money to try to have an autopsy done on your dog to figure out what's wrong. But do I know for sure that's what happened? No, but I can't imagine anything else that could kill a dog in 5 seconds, because she was outside barking, and my wife was about to walk out there to tell her to be quiet, and she walked out there and found her laying there. So between, it was seconds between the last time she barked and the time she went quiet. So
all right, we're about to close this out because I think everybody's had a chance to enter a number. Hopefully you didn't repeat it, and hopefully you only entered it once.
Okay, so
Adam Otter, okay, John goes play, Kevin's Canines and Aquatics. All right, that's the last one, Kevin. All right, so what's the number, Jason?
All right, the number is 46.
46. Peter Roth.
All right, everyone help us find.
Peter Roth has 46 so far.
Oh, we actually have a 46?
Yeah, Peter Roth. I'm trying to see if there's any.
Oh, no more. We got more guesses. Oh, yeah, but we're on a delay, so. I always forget there's like a 7 or 8 second delay. Does that look like the only one?
Yep. Looks like the only 46. There was a 48 twice, but only 146. So Peter Roth, congratulations. If the moderators, if you want to verify this information for me, but I think I'm pretty accurate on what I see because I've looked at all the numbers. 46 has only been entered once. And the contest is closed, so we will take it from there.
All right, I just sent, Peter, I sent you an email address there. I tagged it to you. If you could just email me, and I will send that out to you here in just a couple of days.
Awesome. Woohoo!
Woohoo! So again, thanks everyone for joining that. And again, thanks for those last time that actually super chatted to give us the money to be able to spend that. Even though, for a lot of you guys that don't know, that super chats or the money that comes from memberships, YouTube takes 20% of that right off the top. So if you donate $10, YouTube gets $2 of that. Now, don't let that actually stop you from giving, because that's just kind of part of the game of what you have to do.
Yeah, and hopefully everybody understands that all the membership money and anything generated from the streams and stuff like that, that goes back into Jadren Aquatics, whether it's to buy more merch, buy more fish, to improve our processes, whatever it is. So don't think it's just something that we're pocketing and running away with, because really we can't. It's not enough to go anywhere, really. Yeah. But we do try to put that back into the business and the channel so that we can get better equipment, better cameras, better. Well, that's a pretty good backdrop.
We could live in a cardboard box downtown, down by the river.
Oh no!
I probably just aged myself there. Oh, on that note of money given, I don't know if a lot of you guys have seen this new function. Let me see if I can actually get this thing to work this time. Let's see if this actually comes up.
I'll tell you if it worked.
Let's see. I want to show you guys something. It's on a delay, so it's going to take a second for me to know whether or not you actually can.
Yeah, I'm on like a minute delay. It looks like
you can actually see.
Okay, there's blank screen right now. It's blank screen.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Okay, so if you guys haven't seen this new function on YouTube, this is really cool. On any video you watch, I don't think not everyone is set up yet. I think it's sort of in beta testing or something. And you probably have to be monetized to have it too. But there's a little button right here that says thanks, and it's just a real easy way to tip the YouTubers that you like. You just simply click on it, and then you can give like $1 or $2, and it just ends up saying thanks. I don't know if you can change the way. All you can do is make it say thanks. But it's a real easy way for you guys to give to people, YouTube channels that you like and that you enjoy. So I just kind of want to show you guys that so you can see, because a lot of people don't really know about it yet because it's still kind of a new function that's there.
Chevy, would you like to be a mod for us? I see that you don't have a wrench, and I'm used to seeing a wrench by your name in all the chats that I go to.
Oh, we have got a super chat. Tease fish tanks, $10 fish tank. Time to start next drawing pool. That's kind of a good idea. If people want to continue give, we can give away more gift cards.
Awesome, Stephen P. He didn't get his stickers. He said he filled out the form thingy about a month ago.
Where are you located? The ones that go out of the country can take an eternity. So
he's here in Texas, I think.
Oh, okay. Then if you could send me an email, I'll put that in here again.
Or I think he's in Texas because he's going to be in Austin and Dallas Aquashella, or Dallas Aquashella, but Austin for the Greater Austin Aquarium Society.
If you could just send me an email, most likely it got lost in the mail. The system that YouTube has set up in place.
Louisiana.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it should have been there the next day. I send them out every other month is when I allow you guys to choose which ones you want. And then I usually send them out within a few days after that. I have no idea where I was going with that. Oh, but you did remind me of something. We have got another show coming up in Austin for the Greater Austin Aquarium Society. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday, which I have no idea what it is, October 2nd. October 2nd. They're having a show there. The easiest way to find out about it, because I don't remember what the heck it is go to the... why don't we just use our little function that we just used a second ago?
Oh, wait, I'm aging myself.
Greater Austin Aquarium Society. If you go there, you can see they have a Facebook page, I think, that talks about it more. But they have a show coming up. Yeah, I don't see it on here. But that you can see the website to go to. But you want to go to Facebook to actually see that. It's 10 to 2 or something. I think it was shorter hours because a lot of times they go on too long. This one seemed to kind of be perfect, so it's about 4 hours. So if you guys are anywhere near that, you want to come out and check that out. The Austin Aquarium Society, they're fairly new, and they were just going like gangbusters. They were having all sorts of things. I got to go down there one time and give a talk in front of the guys, and it was they accidentally scheduled it on Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm thinking, I am driving down there to give a talk to nobody. I thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to be talking to absolutely nobody. And I get down there, and there was like 20 people there. So I was pleasantly surprised to give that talk. But the problem is COVID just killed them. And again, they're in Austin, so Austin still has a lot of stuff that's closed, and Austin is different than the rest of Texas. I won't go any farther than that. So this is the first thing they've actually done since last year, April or something, before COVID actually hit.
Yeah, they were the group that was doing that breeding project thing for points, right?
They were going to.
Right.
That was the thing that I originally got so excited about.
Right.
Was having a breeding award program, something to entice you to want to breed more stuff. And it never happened. So all the stuff I was breeding, I never got to turn in. I never got any points for it. They had a guy that was a president who was just gung-ho. I mean, this guy was blazing forward in everything that he was doing. And so he actually moved to Wisconsin, and so he had to pass it on to someone else. So they weren't quite doing as much stuff as they had before. But finally, they're doing something. So if you guys want to check that out, we will be set up there for sure. We don't know how much to bring because we're not really sure. I would expect there'd be a jillion people show up. If you haven't had anything to go to buy fish, granted, they've got good fish stores down there, but there's something different about going to a swap than there is to go to a fish store.
Well, let's see. We got new local Austin and Longhorn Aquatics that will probably be both. I think I saw them mention that they will be at the show next week.
Cool.
If you guys what do you guys think? Are you expecting a bunch of people out there? Are you expecting to be a minimal crowd because of COVID, people being scared of that? What's your thoughts? You guys are there in Austin.
Someone asked a question, if pickup is better to order online or just come in the store. It's easier if you'll place the order online and then choose local pickup. That way we can have it all ready for you. And when you're there, you're welcome to shop at the same time. But, you know, if you want to actually see the exact fish you get and spend more time, you're more than welcome to actually do that. We've been known to actually hand the net over to people to catch when they want a specific one and we can't tell what they want. We just give them the net, like, here.
Yeah, especially me. And they're like, I want the one with more blue in it than the other one. I'm like,
to
here.
The colorblind guy.
Yeah, here's the net.
Those are blue?
I thought it was green. Oh, no.
I thought it was another shade of gray.
Now, actually, I'm not that bad, but today Jason said, well, just can't you see the cherry shrimp in there? And I was like,
I caught myself this time, though, because I even said, I'm like, is red a color of issue? Because I don't know.
Red-green colorblind. And it's so weird because I do see in color. It's just I get the in-between colors mixed up. Like if you give me one of those, what do they call it? The swatch or swath, whatever the color thing is, and it shows you the entire spectrum, I see the main colors. I don't see all the little in-between. So if that makes any sense to you.
King of DIY, he's colorblind too. I remember seeing some episode where he got someone send him those glasses that actually fix it or something, because his original arowana, well, I guess his original, I don't watch him anymore, but back when I used to watch him, he had this one arowana that was kind of the mainstay of his. It jumped out and killed itself when he had it in that 2,000-gallon pond. And I think that's what it did. It died somehow or another. But it was called a blueback or something. And he never was really able to see that blueback or something. But when he put the glasses on, he was finally like able to see the blueback on his arowana that he had.
Oh man, cool. That's a bummer. What a beautiful fish! Oh, he's dead.
Welcome to the world of keeping arowanas. The fish that wishes to kill itself at all times.
So Longhorn Aquatics is Gary.
Oh, Gary. What is? I thought Longhorn Aquatics. I thought you went by something else. I don't know. I'm old and I'm senile and I forget a lot of things.
He probably told you when you stayed over the night and you forgot.
Well, no, I just printed stickers, but it's called something else.
Clarify. Oh,
I literally just.
Jess asked me to ask about Killing Me Softly. About killifish. Jess wanted you to contact her because you have killifish that you ordered from us. I think that's what her text said. Either way, Jess wants to talk to you. She really wants some clown killies, and the ones that I have are still. I think they're too small to do anything with because I can't even tell what they are. But there's about eight or 10 fry that I've been able to breed over the past couple of weeks. So I'm looking forward to getting that going even better.
The clown killies and the albino halfbeaks have become two of our best-selling fish, especially the clown killies. We can't get enough of them. But for some reason, the last batches that we've been getting in have been, they're not shipping well. They stay in the tanks, they look fine, they look healthy. Yeah, again, we're keeping them for 2 weeks without any problem, and then we ship them out, especially the half-beaks, and they just all die. In fact, someone ordered some more, and I told them, like, the last batch I shipped died again. I don't know if you really want to risk me shipping them. So it's incredibly aggravating that you have these beautiful fish that people want, but they can't survive shipping. So I'm not really, I don't think it's really a heat issue. I don't know if it's they just don't travel well. I mean, it's a small fish, so it's not polluting the water. So I don't think that's what the issue is, because we never had any problem before. I think we sold like 300 or 400 clown killies without almost any problem at all, and then we started having problem after problem.
Yeah, there was one batch you bought, and the next day you were like, "Yeah, I just bought," and they were all gone.
Yeah, he came out to me and he goes, "I got an order for a clown killies." I go, "There's like 100 of them in there," and he's like, "There's really not." I'm like, what, you got to be kidding me. I go in there and sure enough, there's not a clown killie to be seen absolutely anywhere. So.
Just so you know, Liquid Zoo, I don't man the controls. He's the mod maker over here. So I guess he just didn't take the hint when I asked if Chevy Fish would be a mod.
Did he answer? Because I thought I was waiting for an answer.
Yeah, he said it's up to us.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right. That is taken care of. Thank you so much.
I just changed my name to my business name, so if my comments changed to Hill Country Aquatics, that's me still.
Hill Country, there you go. That's the name I was thinking of. I knew something was seriously confusing me there because it didn't line up to what it was. Yeah, Gary's going to be there set up selling all sorts of stuff. I'm excited about his place. I've filmed at his place before. You guys have seen it. He had a bunch of guppies mainly before, but he's switching over to epistogrammas. And epistogrammas are another one of those fish that everyone seems to love that I wish we could sell more of, but epistogrammas are sort of that same problematic fish that when we bring in 20 or 30 of them, we're lucky if 15 of them survive the 2-week quarantining process.
Can you make Jessa mod?
Just do. Oh, not that one. You guys are probably wondering why does Jason keep sticking his head out and looking? Well, the laptop is not in arm reaching distance, and so it's kind of small. So I have to, even though I know you can't see, I'm like pointing to stuff like, can't you see the TV over there? There's a TV over there also.
Behind the camera.
That's a little bit bigger so that we can read chat a little bit better. But we have lights in here to help light up our beautiful faces, which we look like we've been in California suntanning a lot. Do we have an orange tan?
We look like the former president.
Yes, we look very orange. So on that note, let me...
Somebody mentioned earlier, I saw it, but we got busy talking, that you really like my shirt. And I have Jess looking to pull my link and put it on you. So there's a bit, I have more besides just this shirt. I have some sweatshirts and merchandise bags, all kinds of stuff that I put up on Teespring. Unfortunately, that's the only way I can do this right now. I still do not have enough finances and backing to print me up 50 or 100 shirts and put them on sale. So I'm using the Teespring route. But if you'd like a shirt or a sweatshirt or a tank top, go check it out. When Jess puts the link up there,
oh, there she is.
It should all be good.
I had to find a previous post, and I couldn't find a post. Probably because I'm blind.
We're just lucky that she was not asleep. I texted her before the stream, and she got on. Yay!
Asleep? Why is she asleep at 7:53?
Well, she's missed all the other streams because she was asleep. And it was my fault for not texting her, so I texted her this time.
One of those early goes to bed peoples.
Yeah, that's a good point. Brian from Detroit Shrimp said he's learned that when fish die in your tank, it's because the water they come in has salt or something, and they get shocked in perfect water. So that makes sense. If they're putting any of the methylene blue or any kind of additives to try to help the fish, and then you put them in your aquarium that's got decent water, it might be stressed and get shocked and kill them. Yeah, I agree.
But it seems like the majority of the problems we have are usually after like day 4, day 5. There doesn't seem to be like really very few initial problems. It's more of a day 4, day 5, and then die off. So I don't know. It's just going to be a problem that we're just going to have to continue to learn from.
Yeah, and it's so weird because I don't want to get afraid to move the fish. So, and I find myself today, it's the end of the 2-week quarantine from fish I got 2 weeks ago on Wednesday. And I'm trying to decide, is it best for me to just bag all the fish and take them up to our aquariums and throw them in there? Or is it best just to leave them where they're at and make them available in our inventory and then pull them as the orders come? I don't know, because I'm kind of shell-shocked right now on doing too much that might disturb the fish or stress them out, or, you know, it's stressful enough getting bagged up and then shipped off in a box. But
Yeah, in fact, we had an order go out. Okay, so this is all about like change. Should we be changing things up or not? I decided to order a different bag. The main bags we use are 4-inch by 18-inch bags. It gives a lot of room to be able to tie, because we like to tie ours and then rubber band them to provide twice as much protection from them getting pregnant. Oh, I'm sorry, from them. Sorry, from water leaking out. And I decided to get a bag that was 1 mil thicker than the previous ones. Not that we've been having problems with bags popping. It just seemed like, oh, well, if we can get a thicker bag, why don't we use a thicker bag? And so I ordered and got those bags in. And luckily, we only shipped out one order on that. And the person wrote me, and everything but like 3 fish died on it. And we were like, and that just doesn't happen. And so we were like, what in the world is going on? And then apparently he split it with an order with somebody else. And the other person wrote me, and he said, Jason, you got to put more air in your bags. He says, there was no air in these bags. And I thought, we always put plenty of air in our bag.
I bagged them, so I knew exactly the order. As soon as I saw the pictures, because luckily he sent pictures, and I looked at it, I was like, it was the new bags.
Yep.
They totally collapsed. There was no air. I had it as a nice little bubble. But when it went out, I guess, because it's thicker, maybe the knot didn't set, or even when I put the rubber band, it didn't seal it enough. So that could have been part of the problem, that it just lost all the air. We're learning. Really, just a 1 millimeter thickness difference in the bag created all of those problems, and it did, because when I got done, I told them those new bags are harder to work with, and I was a little worried. And well,
so if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
And so the thing we had to deal with then, I ordered more of those bags, but the bags aren't going to be in until later. So we had orders we had to get pulled on Monday. So we apologize to anyone that received orders this week, not because you got the bad bags. We had to use some not previous bags. That'd be a used bag. It wasn't a used bag. We had bags, the same size bags, but we had put plant stickers on them for shows that we were doing. And it was the bags that we needed. So we had to pack some of the fish in those bags. And so you got your fish in a bag that had a sticker of
for
a plant.
money wart, or
that was not what your fish was. But that was the reason behind it, because we couldn't find enough bags to get us through, because the last thing we want to do is try to use those thick bags again. But we'll keep those bags. One of the things that I do want to try to do is, so the person that I think we've learned the most from as far as shipping and dealing with fish is Dan's Fish. Dan is the man when it comes.
And he's up next.
He's up next. He's the man when it comes to shipping fish. And all the crazy stuff he brings in and keeps alive, like, I need to go work for him for about a month so I can learn whatever these tricks are, because that guy is amazing. Well, he likes to heat seal his bags. And so that might be the next thing we might eventually try. Now, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, but with those thicker bags, it would be better then to use those thicker bags, because then we can seal those bags and try that out, at least maybe to use.
Audra Myers says, my last shipment's packaging was awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
and Jess, don't worry about your sleep. I'm just giving you a hard time.
We got a quick question. We're almost done. We got a couple minutes. What's from Chris, what's the best temps on shipping? We are just starting to cool off, hopefully. No more days in the hundreds for the year. So we ran a test. We actually shipped a thermometer in a normal fish box with all the insulation and stuff in it, so that when we got it, we could hook it back up to the Wi-Fi and we could get a report. And even though it was over 100 degrees when we took it to the post office, it never got above 80 degrees the entire day. So it left Texas before it ever got over 100 degrees. We learned the problem is
Sam,
where the actual box where its destination is. When it gets on that truck and it starts to go out, that's when the temperatures start rising and rising and rising, and that's where the problem.
We learned the hard way, Sam. We really did. I wasn't comfortable with that thicker bag, just because I could tell that something wasn't right, but we really didn't have much choice. We fixed that problem. So what I did this week, realizing that I still had a bunch of the thicker bags that we just bought, I used those for the cories, and I made sure I tied them a certain way so that way it would seal as good as possible. But I went back to using the smaller bags and shipping them one per. And surprisingly, I think that works just as well as the bigger bag. So, you know, we'll see. The feedback from you guys, again, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. So 8 o'clock, it is time for us to go to bed. No, not go to bed. It's time for us to move on and get some other stuff accomplished. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Be sure and check out the next streams that are coming up. So thanks again, guys, and God bless.
Yeah, you can borrow me.